Okay, so we're gonna talk just a tad about patterns, and I will do kind of the main ones and then I'll do some funky ones too. But say you have a pattern where it's 3 and then it's 6 and then it's 12 and then it's 24. And when things get big kind of fast, you're usually think multiplication. So I'm like, ooh, if I times by 2, looks like that works, and times by 2 and times by 2. So then I think that pattern's going to continue, and so times 2 and so forth, and I can fill it out. Now, to write the formula for the nth term then, right now this is my start, but this is the first term and second term and third term and fourth term and fifth term and sixth term. So right now the way it's written with sequences is we have our first term. So I'm going to take my start, which in this case is the number 3, and am I repeat adding or I'm repeat multiplying? Well, it looks like I'm repeat multiplying, if I could say that. So I'm going to use a parentheses for multiplication, and I'm repeat multiplying by 2 all the time. So I have my starting number, and my pattern is that I'm repeat multiplying by 2 all the time. And remember, repeat multiplication is exponential. If you have like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we would write that as 2 to the 5th. So repeat multiplication is exponential. So I know my variable is going to be up here. And it's going to be n minus 1 because I didn't start at 0 like I was supposed to. I'm off by 1. So for example, if you look at the 5th term, how many times did I multiply by 2? Only 4. I did it once, twice, 3, and 4 times. I didn't do it 5 times. I only did it 4. So 5 minus 1 is 4, which is why we take n minus 1. Okay, and we can test it out. We think the 7th number is what? Well, let's use this formula, and it should predict the 7th number, and then we'll see if it's right. So I have 3 times 2. If n is 7, I'm going to sub my 7 in. 7 minus 1 is 6. So I'm going to try that on my calculator. So 3 times 2, and again the exponent key is usually this guy, but you might have something that looks like x to the y key, something like that instead. Alright, so when I do that I get 192. So is that what I get if I keep taking the pattern? Well, let's take 96 times 2, and it looks like 192 is right. So this formula would predict the 100th term, and the only other way to get the 100th term or the 1000th term is to go forever and ever and ever and ever. Even the 50th term, I don't want to do that, right? So if I want to know the 50th term, I would just sub in 50 for here, and that would get me the 50th term, like if I kept multiplying by 2 over and over and over and over again. So if I want to find the 50th, that's kind of hard to say, term, I would use my formula, and n is the 50th term. So 3 times 2 raised to the 50th power. Yeah, and that's in scientific notation actually. So that's going to be about 3.4 times 10 to the what, 15th there. So what that means is I would have to multiply this number by 10 15 times. So 3.4 and move the decimal 15 jumps. So I'd move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so 15. My decimal would be right there. Now again, this is a rounded number because, you know, obviously 3 times 2 over and over is not going to have all those zeros in there. But it's rounded, but you can see that this would be huge. All right, now the way to cheat on this is real life always starts at 0. Like when you're born, when you first get a job, that's at 0. When you're at 1, it's when you're already lived a year or you've already been at a job for a year. So if I fix it, I go back in time. So if I'm multiplying by 2 to go forward, to go backwards in time, I would divide by 2. And so 3 divided by 2, I can either write 3 halves, I could write 1.5, whatever I want there. Okay, same idea. I'm going to have my start, which in this case is at 0. I'm starting at 0, and my answers, or my number is 3 halves. I'm repeat multiplying by 2, just like before, so I'm multiplying by 2 all the time. And then, again, it's repeat multiplication, so it's exponential, but this time I'm just going to use my exponent of n, because I started at 0 where I was supposed to. And notice if let's go to the 7th term again. If I'm going to go to the 7th term, how many 2's would I have if I start at 0? Well, I'm going to change that to multiply. So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2's that I would need to get here. Okay, so 7 2's. So let's try that in this formula. I have 3 halves times 2, and again, I'm looking for that 7th term. So my calculator, I'm going to use parentheses for my fraction, 3 halves in parentheses, and I just use division. You could use the fraction key as well. So you could go 3 fraction key over 2. Either way is fine. And then times 2, exponent key to what, the 7th power? And notice that formula still gives me 192, which is the same. Now again, either formula is fine. Notice that when you have repeat multiplication like this, it has to be repeat multiplying by the same number over and over again, and we call that geometric sequence. So it's based on multiplication. It is a geometric sequence. All right, the other type we talked about is repeat adding, which is arithmetic. So it looks like the word arithmetic. Arithmetic. All right, so say I give you the number like, oh, I don't know, 5. And then you see it's like -1 and -7 and -13. And it's getting smaller, but it's not getting smaller really fast. So I look, and again, for it to be arithmetic or geometric, it has to be consistent. So it looks like it went down 6, went down another 6, went down another 6. So it looks like it's going to go down another 6 and another 6. Okay, and again, real life starts at 0, but you know, if you have one kid, you don't say there are 0th kid. You start counting at 1. So this is my first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, and 6th term. All right, so if we're going to do it the way we started, again, if I want to get to, say, this 5th term, I don't have 5 -6's. I did 1 -6, 2 -6, 3 -6, 4 -6's. So it's kind of off by 1 because we didn't start at 0. All right, so what's my starting number? My starting number is 5. Okay, what math am I doing? I'm re-adding a -6 or subtracting 6. So you can either put plus a -6, or instead you could put -6, doesn't matter. All right, and so this is the math we're doing. So we have our start, and then we have the math that's in the pattern, which in this case is either -6 or add a -6, whichever way. And then repeat adding as multiplication. So my variable is down low, this is linear, and it's n-1 because it's off by 1, because when we're at the 5th term, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 -6's, okay? Because we started at 1, not 0, so we're off by 1. Again, say I want to use the formula to come up with a 6th term. Let's see if it works. So I have 5 plus -6. 6 minus 1 is what? 5. So if I sub a 6 in here and subtract 1, I get 5. 5 plus a -30 is a -25. So it does work. Now, if you don't like that, to fix it, we can go back in time to the 0th term. And if I go forward, I subtract 6 or add a -6. To go backwards, I would add 6. So this must have been 11. All right, so in real life, if we're going to start there, we have our starting number, but we're starting at 0, so we're starting at 11. Okay, and then what's the pattern? So kind of what's the math is the question mark you need to ask yourself. And the math is that I'm either subtracting 6 or adding a -6 all the time. I'll just write it with minus this time, but you could do plus and negative, doesn't matter. So I'm adding or adding a -6 or subtracting 6 every time. And this time your variable is just here, because if I start at 11, I would have, going forward this way, I'd have a -6 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times to get the 5th term. So if and then I would have it 6 times to get the 6th term. And so say we want to check the sixth term again, see if it really does equal negative 25. So I would sub in 11 minus 6, and I want what, the sixth term. And so what is that, negative 25, which is right. It predicts the term that I want. All right, so those are the two type. Now there are some weird patterns sometimes. So for example, you might have a pattern like, oh, I don't know, let's say I give you 1 and then 4 and then 9 and then 16 and 25 and 36, and you're trying to figure out this pattern. Now it's getting big fast, but it's not consistent. Like this is 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. So some of you might be like, oh, I see the pattern. It's going up by 1, then adding up by 3, then going up by, what did I say, 7, and then it's going up by 9. So it looks like it's kind of going up. Did I miss one? I think I missed 5. Going up by, yeah, sorry about that. So this is going up by what, 3, how's that? And then this is going up by 5. I got off right in my writing here. So went up by 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, so it looks like 11. So some of you might be like, oh, it's going up by 13 and 15, and that would be a correct pattern. Some other people might be like, oh, this is 1 squared and 2 squared, or 2 times 2, or 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared. So then you're like, oh, this is 7 squared, 8 squared, 9 squared. So this must be 49, 7 times 7. This must be 64, 8 times 8, and this must be 81, 9 times 9. And notice that the person that added 13 got the same pattern, the person that added 15 got the same pattern, and this would be what? Adding 17. So both patterns give you the right answer. Now, if they ask you to come up with a formula, though, this one's kind of easier. Because if you look, again, first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, you're like, oh, wow, the term matches the base. Like if it's a fourth term, it's 4 squared. If it's a fifth term, it's 5 squared. If it's sixth term. So if it's a 100th term, you know it's going to be 100 squared because the term matches that base number. So for this one, if you want to find out a formula, if it's the nth term, then the base would be n, and it would just be n squared. So your formula for that would just be n squared. And that's easier to come up with here than this. This is not arithmetic because you're adding a different number every time. It's not consistent. So that formula that we did earlier doesn't work. Let's see. Sometimes there's other patterns, like maybe I do like 2 over 3 and 3 over 4 and 4 over 5 and 5 over 6 and 6 over 7 and something like this. So this is kind of more a number pattern a little bit. Again, you can kind of see like, oh, these are going up by 1 and these are also going up by 1. And this is your first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So again, it's not like we're adding the same thing. It's more of a number pattern. So then I can say, oh, I know the next one's going to be 7. I know the next one's going to be 8. The problem is, how do you write a formula for that? It's not geometric or arithmetic. So you just kind of have to think. When it's the sixth term, what do I do to 6? Well, I add 1 to get the 7. So this is 6 plus 1 to get the 7. And then the bottom is just 1 more that. So it's like 6 plus 2. So you're trying to be like, oh, what do I do to the fifth thing to get this? Well, 5 plus 1 gives me the 6. 5 plus 2 gives me the other one. So then you're like, okay, what if I'm out all the way to 100? I keep going to the 100th term. So then you're like, the denominator is what? 2 more than this? So 100 plus 2. And the numerator is just 1 more than this, so 100 plus 1. So the answer would be what? 101 over 102 if you counted out to the 100th term, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But if I want to find the formula for the nth term, then you have to look for the pattern and be like, oh, wow, the bottom or the denominator is always 2 more, and the numerator is just 1 more. And so that would be the formula for that. So the ones that have constant adding or constant multiplying, there is a pattern to figure out the formula. When you get to some of these others, you just kind of have to look for a pattern between, like, what do you do to 5 to get the numerator and denominator? Or what do you do to 4 to get the numerator and denominator? Or what's, oh, I'm squaring them. Okay, so it's n squared. Those are not quite as easy, a little bit tricky on those. close. All right, we're going to stop here.